77 WABC and Bergen Newbridge Medical Center honor the life of legendary broadcaster and our friend, Ernie Anastas.
Hi, it's Ernie Anastas. You know, your thoughts can affect how you feel. Bergen Newbridge Medical Center is the largest hospital in New Jersey, providing comprehensive, equitable, compassionate, and high-quality emergency inpatient and outpatient medical care, plus mental health services and substance use disorder treatment. The Bergen Newbridge team can address your total health needs in one convenient location. Call 201-225-7130 for an appointment or newbridgehealth.org.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me. Taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
He was the best. He still is the best. He'll always be the best. Whether it's Thursdays right here with me, Mondays with Katz and Cosby, his amazing website, BillO'Reilly.com. Great interviews, great stories. It's just great television. No spin. It's terrific. His Killing series, the other books about the presidents confronting evil. And now he's got this amazing podcast. I was honored to be a guest of his a couple of weeks ago. Do it live. It's a great podcast. He does the News Nation stuff with Stephen A. Smith and Chris Cuomo. And on top of all of that, he is taking me to Citi Field tomorrow night to watch the Mets take on the Yankees. Eventually, we'll end up in Steve Cohen's box. He's done all this, the great Bill O'Reilly. Bill, that's a lot.
I'm exhausted. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go to the game. I'm going to have to take a nap.
It really is. I mean, it takes me to introduce you longer than even Trump, believe it or not. Longer.
Yeah. Well, I was a little disconcerted when I saw Mr. Met with Xi greeting President Trump. I told you he was a communist.
Oh, God, that's funny. That would have been great. I can't wait to see what happens with Mr. Met when you and I hit Citi Field tomorrow night, because you call him a communist, and I got a lot of play when I called him an anti-Semite. So we'll see how that goes tomorrow. But, you know, talking about with Trump and Xi in China, you went to China a couple of months ago. President Trump was very interested in that whole trip. Now, you said that. I'm not saying something that's out of line. You said that, you know, you talked to him before, you talked to him after. So you got to know China just a little, but it does seem like, whatever it's worth, that China has really rolled out the red carpet here the last 2 days, and they're telling President Trump a lot of things he wants to hear, including, you know what? We'll buy our oil and gas from you. How about that?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I talked to the president on Sunday this week, and then I talked to a couple of the Chinese big shots on Tuesday. And look, what they say and what they do, you know, I'm not a Chinese sympathizer. I think I understand the culture, and they want to overthrow the United States, the most powerful nation in the world. That's their goal. But the president knows that. He's just trying to harness some power to deal with the mullahs right now. So what they call triangulation. That's really what's happening over there. You're never going to get what happens behind the scenes. You're going to get the little hoisting of the toast and the tea, and then some girl with an umbrella will come dancing by, and, you know, it's kind of like the old time laughing. But, you know, they, being Xi and Trump, they understand that they have to impose order on the world. And for the Chinese, order is everything. Everything. And they don't like this stuff with Iran. They don't like it. It doesn't help business, and China needs to sell their products. So when we speak with Mr. Met tomorrow, I'm just going to go over to see if his head is made in Shanghai. Is that head an American-made head, or is it?
I doubt it. It probably is Shanghai or Beijing, but that may change because, you know, as you point out about the business aspect of this trip, and they'll have the discussions about Iran, and Trump will yell at him, will grab him by the ear and say, stop giving those guys weapons and all those types of things. But the business side of this is so huge. 16 or 17 of our biggest and best CEOs, Elon Musk. I watched him on television this morning sitting there with Marco Rubio, and you have Jensen Huang from NVIDIA, and you've got Tim Cook from Apple and the guy from Boeing as well. NVIDIA saying yesterday they're looking forward to selling chips to about 10 different Chinese firms. So it looks like already the business side may be paying off for us.
Yeah, I hope so. We need to calm everything down, but the Chinese have to give back a little bit. They have to help us, and they're never going to do it publicly. They're going to announce it, but behind the scenes, I mean, they got to get these mullahs under control because that's just disrupting the whole world's economy. And I'm hoping the president can pull that off, and that she will go along with it.
He seems very confident, and that's Trump, of course. That's part of the reason why you love him. Yeah, I know.
Always going to do that.
Always. So, he's not talking about a timeline, though. He's just, he talked a couple of weeks ago, you may remember, talked about the length of Vietnam. He talked about the length of other wars, He said...
but he doesn't have it now.
I told him, exactly. He said, we've been doing this for 5 weeks. Right. He doesn't have it because the midterms are right around the corner. That's right. The bottom line. But he was very confident, obviously, on Tuesday about the midterm outcome. What about you?
I don't know. I mean, all I know is I'm trying to get as much information as possible to do my analysis on those spin news and other, on WABC and News Nation. The information that I'm getting is that the Chinese will make a deal, but they always want a little bit more. It's not like a even deal. They always want a little bit more, and that's difficult.
Yeah.
But Trump understands that the Chinese are the key to American prosperity in the short term, and that's important because we have to. Once we get this Mueller thing under control, I think the economy will bounce back big, which is why you're getting all the dissent from the Democratic Party. They know that if this thing goes down, I interviewed Andrew Cuomo on We'll Do It Live, which will drop today, and he wants to throw infantry in there. Andrew's he's like a big let's go.
Yeah,
I was surprised.
Yeah,
and we're not going to do that, but certainly there's urgency, and the president understands that.
One of the huge issues, we talk about business, we talk about Iran and a host of other things, but one of the huge issues that has come up during these high-stakes meetings, Taiwan. And the Chinese are making it very, very clear that keep your distance, okay? They got Taiwan, basically the whole perimeter is Chinese military. It's almost like they're going in tomorrow. And the United States have made it very, very clear that if you do that, you're going to have a big problem with us as well as other countries.
Yeah, and China can't do that because of the economic sanctions and all that. But China, people don't understand this around the world. That's an emotional thing with them. So in 2049, that's going to be the 100th anniversary of Mao, one of the most evil people on the face of the earth. People should keep that in mind. His takeover of China. And they have vowed that by that date, and that gives us some time, that the Chinese flag will be flying over Taiwan. And you could do it a number of ways. It doesn't have to be an out-and-out military takeover, because I don't think that will happen. But there can be negotiations about governments that do certain things, and that, but they are so emotional about that. And the rest of the world doesn't understand how the emotion, because she wants to be like the second Mao. So like Trump wants to be the best president ever. She wants to be the best chairman ever. And he sees that pathway as China controlling Taipei, which I've been to Taiwan, one of the worst places in the world. Oh,
really?
My God. I could tell you stories about
Oh,
Taiwan.
not bad, huh?
I couldn't wait to get out of there, boy.
Wow.
if you go to the night market in Taipei, you'll never go anywhere again. I mean, they're cutting up snakes. It's like, get me out of here.
Yeah.
And it's so crowded. It's so dense. It makes Queens look like Montana.
Yeah.
I mean, people all over the place. But the other thing is that Taiwanese will fight. They will fight, and they're well armed. So it's not like China can just walk right in there.
No, it'll be a bloodbath.
It would have a bit.
Yeah, it'll be a bloodbath. It'll be like Russia, Ukraine. I mean, let's face it.
No, but it would be worse than Ukraine.
Even worse. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because the Taiwanese have really sophisticated weapons. They know how to use them. There's not a big movement they don't want to be part of communist China. They want to keep their capitalistic system. But this is, these boys are not going to give up easy over there.
I agree. So, Bill, you're not Jewish last I checked, even though you got a lot of Jewish friends, including me.
I'm working on it. I think
you want to be, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of chanting.